Age is not a barrier to do specialization in Australia. Raise your hands. Hello everyone, I'm back to making videos regularly and uploading them on the channel. So thank you very much for subscribing, and if you like my channel, subscribe below. So I get on average a dozen emails every week from all over the world, particularly from Asia, Europe and Africa. And they all have similar sort of questions: how I can get into the system in Australia, and what can I do, what sort of things can I do. And more recently today, I got an email from one of my subscribers who really appreciates the way I make the videos and everything. And he had some questions, and these are the questions that I keep getting asked again and again from time to time. And I thought it'll be easier if I can make a video so I can redirect all of you to that, to these questions and their answers in terms of working in Australia. So let me go through the email. What I've done is I've redacted the name of the person just for identity purposes, de-identification purposes. But what I will do is I'll read this email. So the email goes on. I am XYZ. I am practicing as a doctor from Nigeria, though I have done my MD qualification from a European country, if that helps. Let me admit that from the outset, I've benefited a lot from your very informative videos on YouTube, and especially drew inspiration from somewhat rocky path to becoming licensed to practice in Australia. Thus, I have recommended your videos to my colleagues who are interested in Australia. Please keep your videos coming. If you don't mind, I have a few questions. At the moment, I'm preparing for to write UAE license exams, DHA, as a financial conduit to my ultimate destination of Australia. I intend to practice there for 1 to 2 years to become financially buoyant in order to comfortably start the Australian route. My interest is in cardiology with a specialization in interventional cardiology. If I ultimately make it to Australia, do you think I stand a chance of achieving my goal? If yes, how long do you reckon it'll take? Lastly, my first degree was in pharmacy, and thus a second choice in clinical pharmacy. Is there a specialization like that in Australia? Thank you so much for reading this. Despite having a very busy schedule, I will appreciate your help. Kind regards, Dr. XYZ. All right, so very common question. So this email has 3 questions. In term broadly, 2 questions, I would say. Number 1 is that, am I able to do specialization in Australia? This doctor has interest in interventional cardiology. So is he able to do residency in that? And secondly, how long will it take? So let me answer the first question first. Are you able to do a specialization in any field in Australia? Yes, anybody can do any specialization in Australia if they fulfill a few criteria. Number 1 criteria is getting general registration. Now, generally when doctors come from overseas to Australia, they have either a limited registration or a provisional registration. And it takes about 1 to 2 years of practice within a hospital, and doing all the different rotations which are specified on the APRA website. If you do those rotations, and as I said, in general, it takes about 2 years to get all those rotations done. So once you have done them, you can get your general registration. Once you've got your general registration, you then need to apply for a permanent residency. Although certain specializations don't require permanent residency, such as emergency medicine and I think it is psychiatry, all other specializations require permanent residency. So you will have to apply for permanent residency, which can take another year to come. So roughly 3 years down the line, after you have landed in Australia with a job, you can apply for any specialization of your choice. Now, most of these specialist pathways have a competitive system, so your CV has to be pretty good. You've done a bit of research and you've shown interest in that field, and you should be able to get into it. So for cardiology, yes, definitely you can do cardiology. The route to cardiology is slightly different. From what I understand is that you will initially have to do what they call the basic physician training. Generally, that training is about for 4 years. And then on top of that, you can do a sub-specialization in interventional cardiology. And that probably would be another 2 to 3 years. So in total, how long would it take you? So let's say 3 years to get your general registration and permanent residency, 4 years to do basic physician training, and another 3 years to do interventional cardiology. So all up 10 years. There is no age limit to it. So you can be of any age and do your training. Second question over here is that I'm 36-year-old now and wondering if there's, okay, so I've already answered the age limit question. The last question is that my first degree is in pharmacy, and is there a second choice in clinical pharmacy as in specialization? I am actually not sure about pharmacy. I haven't met any doctors who have done pharmacy as their specialization. I'm pretty sure that's a specialization over here, but I don't actually know the route for it. So I won't be able to answer that question. The other important thing that he talks about is getting financial independence and working in UAE and getting some money. Obviously, Australian exams are quite expensive and it may take multiple attempts to do those exams, and for part 2 you have to come to Australia, and it's again an expensive exam. I've done other videos which talk about the costs involved, so you can watch those videos. I'll try to put those down in the description below. But as I said previously, I will make another video on it. UAE is a good choice, but a better choice is maybe going to UK. Because salary wise you can get slightly better or similar rates over there, but to get a job in Australia if you've got UK experience is a lot easier than working in UAE. So that'll be my advice to you. Try to go for UK if there is an opportunity. All right guys, if you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.